Good day, losers.
It started with a very specific target audience. We focus on the high-value traveller, so those that are going to spend more into the Australian economy. So always start with your audience, rule number one. Then we also looked at the fact that the US is one of our top 3 markets, but it's a very, very cluttered market from a marketing and advertising point of view. We've all seen the stats on the billions of dollars that get spent by the major advertisers there. So we found that we just weren't getting the cut through that we needed to resonate with the high-value traveller in that market. When we did the media analysis, half of our whole target audience in the US watch the Super Bowl and they lean into the advertising. There's more shares of the ad content than the game content. So we knew that it was a great platform, but we were never going to go into that platform unless we had the right creative idea. And we, when the agency presented it, it was just, we straight away knew that that was the concept and that was the idea we wanted to take into the Super Bowl, because Dundee resonated so much in that market. And we really wanted to, classic behavioural economics, if you like, take something that the audience really knew and loved, but bring it into a contemporary 2018 Australia and what our current tourism experiences are. Our first thing to get on board was Paul Hogan, because he obviously owns all the rights to Dundee and he's the grandfather of Australian tourism, as I mentioned. And we showed a few people and we knew straight away with their reactions to the creative that we were onto a winner. Chris Hemsworth is our global brand ambassador. We took him through it and he loved it straight away. He actually had the idea of Danny McBride, which was fantastic. Those two worked off each other so well. But what got it through was the power of the creative idea. Everybody knew that it was so unique, only ownable by Australia. We knew that we wouldn't get misattribution to other brands like a lot of generic tourism advertising does. It could be Tahiti, it could be Fiji, it could be anywhere. So we knew that this was an ad that only Australians could produce and it would be very ownable by us. And we really did want to cut through the sea of sameness. And our new strategy is to do fewer, bigger, more impactful things, because we've got a set budget like most marketers and it has to go a long way. And by doing lots and lots of little things, it's not going to get the impact or the cut through that we needed to shift the dial of the American market going from 4 billion to worth 6 billion into the Australian economy by 2020. So we started with the hard business objectives and we worked back from there. It was a very calculated risk, and actually we put in a submission for a bravery award and the panel kind of went, well, you've mitigated so many risks and you had a risk register and all those sorts of things, so was it really brave? But it was. To take a country into such a big platform and borrowing into all of those characters, it was a risk, and I wouldn't be standing here if it didn't work out, and I knew that as well, because just the volume of stakeholders, as I said, it had to go to ministers and all that sort of thing. But I think at the end of the day, everyone loved the idea and everyone willed it to work, which is why it didn't break out in terms of the secret. But from a team point of view, everyone's really pumped and so glad it worked. And we've been doing a lot of work on our culture and our values at Tourism Australia over the last 3 years, and if we didn't have the culture that we've got today, there is no way we would have been able to pull off something so big. So everyone felt a vested interest in it, whether they worked on it directly or indirectly or from afar. So it's been brilliant.
This isn't a movie.
No.
It's a tourism ad for Australia.
Yes.